Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're an Unreal Engine user like myself, you saw the Unreal Fest yesterday and the release of Unreal Engine 5.6. It means a lot to us who use it on a daily basis. I'm sure it means a lot to the indie devs who also watch my channel. And if you're neither of those and you're just a gamer who likes to see what's under the hood, then make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to explain something that I saw running in social media that might be a bit confusing regarding the Witcher 4 demo that happened during the keynote. Let's get started. All right, so Unreal Engine. A lot of people think when they hear Unreal Engine, they think about just eye candy and just things looking good. Unreal Engine, as I explained on my Clear Obscure video where I talk about the marketplace assets usage, it's so much more than just eye candy. It gives indie developers the AAA tools that we've never had at every level possible, not just in the visuals. Another thing that I want to explain before we get into the keynote is what is a tech demo? A tech demo basically is another word for it is vertical slice. Let's say they're gathering a small piece of the game and putting it together in a way where it looks and showcase the best that those developers have to give. In this case, and this may be confusing for some, and this is one of the confusions that I saw on social media, this event is mainly towards developer. This was not a state of play. They were not announcing a new game. So what they did with The Witcher 4 was grab assets from The Witcher and use them to showcase some new Unreal Engine 5 features. This isn't necessarily how the game is going to look and is going to run in the future. Things might change. This is just a tech demo. Now, I'm not saying that CD Projekt Red is not capable of making game to this level, but there are things to take into account. Was this running on a PS5, base PS5? Yes. Was it running at 60 frames per second? Also, yes. But the issue lies in the fact that it was a tech demo. We've also had tech demos in the past that looked and run incredible. Actually, Unreal Engine has done it in the past too, with the Echo demo that they did when Unreal Engine 5 just came out, so they could showcase Nanite and they could showcase a lot of things that came with Unreal Engine 5. There was also, back in the day, another tech demo that I remember was really good. It was called Kara, and it was a demo of like an Android, an AI Android being assembled. It was really cool, but it was just a tech demo, and that was back in the PS3 era. So take that into account once you read or watch videos about the Witcher 4 tech demo that happened at the Unreal Fest. Now, there are some great things that they showcase as far as tools and things that I'm very sure that the game will be using. So over here, you can see that there's a lot of Nanite, there's a lot of VFX, particle effects that are going on, the way that the cave moves on Siri. So that means there is significantly to quite a bit of geometry on it because of the way that Chaos Cloth moves. And there's also grooms on her. I don't know if it's her cards or grooms it's on her her cloak, which is, I think it's pretty awesome. Now, this is another area that Unreal Engine has been developing, is the machine learning for muscle deformation. So I'm just going to pause it right here. So the way that this works is, and right now I think it's only done in Maya. I haven't seen it done in Blender or in anywhere else. You go and you have a setup where you train your machine learning with several movements and several muscle deformations, and it kind of just works it into the engine as part of that machine learning. So it makes this run in game looks and looking perfect. Like the way that this horse looks, the way that the muscles are moving is just amazing. And the fact that they can run real time, because yes, this is running real time. And it's something that it was released quite a bit ago. I'm pretty sure that they improved it. I think they released it with a humanoid figure, which was something very interesting to look at. So over here, there is a transition between gameplay to cutscene. Is very seamless, and that's one of the things that Unreal is working towards, making the difference between a cinematic cutscene and actual gameplay to be as seamless as possible and to be the less different possible. You can see that there's more depth of field in the camera work, although I'm pretty sure these two characters have the same geometry from the game, so there's no model swapping or pre-render stuff that's happening. This is happening in Sequencer. Sequencer is a tool that Unreal Engine has that allows you to do animations and do all sorts of stuff, including this cinematic stuff where you can just create this whole shot and just add it into the game with a trigger, and now it's with the motion matching is stitched together much more seamlessly than what we used to make. Now, one of the things that's being highlighted here is Nanite. Nanite is the Unreal Engine virtualization method of doing LODs, so you're not switching like pop-ups in between a level of detail. We've talked about level of detail in this channel quite a bit, where you have a super high-end model and then it switches to a lower end depending on how distant your camera is. The thing about Nanite is that you don't switch up models. It does it on the fly and it just reduces the number of triangles. Now they're doing it with foliage. The thing about foliage is we used to do cards, so just bare planes, like we've seen some assets here on the channel as well. And what they're doing now is they're doing voxels. Voxels are like little cubes that they're going to be using to render these trees. So that way you have a lot more geometry. He mentions that now you can model every single pine needle as a 3D artist. I don't know who wants to model that because that is insane, like insanely repetitive to model things that are sharp. But hey, now apparently you can just load one of these, and because of voxelization, you'll be able to run the whole model as opposed to just like switching in between like high polys and low polys, or even using cards with alphas. Now in this part right here, and this is where I wanted to get because we break down a lot of the in-game models and geometry on this channel, you can see that her cloak has quite a bit of geometry, and I'm pretty sure the character itself is very dense. So this cloak is very dense because each single point, like each single vertice of those triangles that you see on screen is what creates that collision. So what Chaos Cloth has now is like collision in between garments. So her cloak is colliding with the rest of her clothing. Usually we used to use a skeletal mesh for that. I haven't like dive deep into this because it's just so new, but the way that we used to do it is you collide that with another skeletal mesh. It used to be like a proxy mesh that was kind of like lowish resolution, so it wasn't as heavy on runtime, but now they have something different that's probably running with the same chaos cloths that I used to use in my old channel. I have a showcase on that. I'll leave a link to that video down below in the description. But yeah, it's very interesting the way that the Chaos Cloth creates that movement, because this isn't animated like we usually used to back in the day where you have bones. This is fully utilizing the physics engine, which is Chaos within Unreal Engine. So one of the things that he is highlighting right here is the fact that the flow map is now baked into these assets. In order to get fluids to look good, usually fluid sims are very heavy. Unreal Engine has a fluid sim. There is Ninja Fluids, which we've also seen several games. It's an asset that it takes care of that, and it does so in a very performance-friendly way. I think this is probably a new way that they're utilizing, where you bake down that flow, most likely as a map, and that way you get this realistic running water without the whole actual simulation running in the background, which usually can be pretty heavy. What you see in movies and like CGI water, CGI smoke, that's all simulated and it's super heavy. It used to be very difficult to do something like that in games. It looks like we're getting close to like video production stuff when it comes to real-time things. So in this section, they're talking about streaming. And when he says streaming, that doesn't mean like streaming on YouTube or Twitch. That means the data of the asset streaming. So all that 3D data, textures, geometry, it needs to be streamed because it's not always loaded. Like you cannot load everything at once, even in several open world games. Actually, the best performance open world games are the ones who know how to stream the data. And that's how you get actual open world games. So if you don't have data streaming, then you need loading screens. So this is what you need in order to not get loading screens. Kind of talked about that in my Starfield video. If you want to watch that too, it's going to be in the playlist down below. But the fact that he mentions that, because this used to be a very heavy project. Anyone can access all of these, by the way. This is all free and out there for you to use inside Unreal Engine. The project of this Matrix City, it's very heavy. And now they are saying it's 90% more performance that you are getting with Unreal Engine 5.6, the way that it streams the data. So everything that we just saw in the keynote is available for everyone to use. You can download Unreal Engine 5.6 right now. It's completely free for you to use and start playing with these tools. I will be having tutorials on how to use certain tools within Unreal Engines, whether you're doing cinematics or where you're doing games. I'm also going to be showcasing the metahumans. The metahumans got a big upgrade, so I'm going to have another video dedicated just to the metahumans because it's something that I use a lot and something that I want to use even more now that it's easier than ever to do facial motion capture with the metahumans. I mentioned that in my Clair Obscur video that they were using iPhones. You know, not even need an iPhone anymore. You can do it with a camera like the one that I'm using right now to record this video, or you can use whatever phone you have, like this Android phone. Everybody has a phone with a camera nowadays. So I'm also going to have a tutorial on that because a lot of people requested that tutorial on my Clair Obscur video. So Unreal Engine, what do you think of it? Whether it's positive or negative, let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of the tech demo? Do you think CD Projekt Red is going to get there, like closer to what we saw? Is it going to be downgraded? Let me know your thoughts down below. Remember, subscribe because there's a lot of things that are going to come pretty soon. There's also that Stellar Blade video that's coming next after this one. So make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications. Leave me a like. That really helps out the channel. We're growing at a very decent pace, and I'm very happy for everybody that's been supporting the channel by just commenting, leaving a like, sharing the videos, etc. Thank you all for watching all the way till this point, and I'll see you in the next one.